name is Maurice McGee, and we have a lot to talk about. Here we go, here we go, here we go. I told you we were going on a ride. Welcome back to Untold Truth. Now, I probably should have told you this earlier, but in order to ride this ride, you at least have to be this tall. All jokes aside, this is a family-friendly channel, and I don't plan on covering anything that I wouldn't share with my own little ones. But if it is more intense, I will give you a heads up, trust me. Because we will be talking about some things on this channel. Just like we talked about before. But before we get too deep in all that, we've got to pump the brakes. Because like I shared, we're going to take things a little slow. At least at first. Because before we dive too deep into things, we've got some things that are kind of hovering on the surface to cover. I know you're probably a go-getter. You want to jump right in, get down into the depths of the corruption and everything going on and dig right into it. But you don't want to sleep on the tip of the iceberg. Don't want to take it for granted. We all know what happened to Jack. You remember Jack, don't you? Yeah, of course you remember Jack. It was awful what happened to Jack. And it's because you take small things and you take them for granted. That's what people have done. And we don't want you to end up like Jack. Don't end up like Jack. And what happened to Jack was horrible. Jack got what Jack got because things were taken for granted. He got what he got because people are too trusting and have too much faith in man. Too much faith in what man has to offer in the system that man has put in place. But we're not going to be like Jack. We're not going to take things for granted. Here's our first topic. Our first topic is breakfast. You might be saying, whoa, breakfast? Are you kidding me? That's what we're going to talk about? Don't forget. Don't end up like Jack. Let's move on with our first topic. So, back to breakfast. Our first meal of the day. With our mornings ranging around 6 a.m. to say about 11 a.m. And of course, during this time, we eat our breakfast foods. Like our milk and cereal. Our toast. Eggs and bacon, French toast and bacon. Then we have bacon and more bacon. We just love our bacon, right? But yeah, we were told that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. We were told as parents that it was the key to our children getting good grades and that milk was good for them and it would help them get strong bones, good and healthy. Seems innocent enough, right? Yeah, well, most times we're on the go, we're so busy. A lot of times we can't catch breakfast. our schedules dictate for us to rush and get to work, or our busy schedules, so we miss out on breakfast. But we do what we have to do throughout the day, and we end up catching lunch. And at that time, we have to eat our lunch foods, right? Makes sense, right? To eat breakfast at breakfast time and lunch at lunchtime, right? Wrong. Lies, lies, lies. Let's look at the word breakfast. In fact, let's break up the word breakfast. We get break fast. We understand what it means to break something, but how about fast? Because we're not talking about speed here. Most people understand fasting that has to go to the doctor for labs, and the doctor tells you ahead of time for that visit, make sure that you have not eaten for 8 to 24 hours or what have you, to make sure that the blood is clear enough for an accurate test. Then there are others that understand fasting because they have grown up in the church. And for those that have come up in the church, they know that pushing away the plate strengthens the spiritual man. And so fasting is done routinely for 3 days, even a week or so at a time. Even longer for the hardcore religious. So if you are fasting and you finally eat, whenever that is, you have broken your fast. So in essence, breakfast is just a spin on the word break fast. Don't believe me just yet? That's okay. We're going to tie this thing all together. You see, let's say you eat your last meal for the day around, let's say 6 or 7 p.m. And not too long after that, you hit the sack. You stay asleep all night long until you finally wake up around 6 or 7 a.m. That puts you around 12 hours of not eating. And sometimes you feel like, man, am I starving? Well, that's because after approximately 8 hours of not eating, our bodies go through what I would call fast mode. Yes, gluconeogenesis. And this is pretty much a process in which our bodies begin to create glucose automatically on its own, which it normally gets through the flow of food. But because we are fasting, essentially by not eating for over 8 hours, our body starts making that glucose on its own. You see, just because we're asleep doesn't mean our body completely shuts down. It's still working, and it needs sugar and nutrients to do that. So our body starts working on fat and other things that are stored in our body to create the sugar and the energy to do so. So the correlation with breakfast and breaking a fast is simply this. When we first get up in the morning and we finally eat, we have broken our fast because we are in fast mode due to not eating. Now, just like exercising, fasting is good for you as long as you don't overdo it. But see, there is another step that's involved in exercising that is crucial, which is stretching. It's that good old warm up and cool down process to prevent injury. It really sets up and preps our body for the stress and strain that we're about to put it through. Now, we all fast, like I've explained, because if you don't eat for a certain period of time, that counts as a fast, and that's 8 hours. And because we sleep, we fast. As long as you're not the type of person that gets up in the middle of the night and gets that midnight snack, you're fasting, which you probably shouldn't do because our body needs that reset. But for people that routinely and intentionally fast for days on end, know that when they finally eat, that you should start with something light on the stomach, something that the body can receive easily. They know not to eat something heavy, something that's hard for the body to process. Why is that? Because when you eat things that are heavy after a fast, doesn't tend to agree with you very well. Many times you get sick, you feel heavy, you feel horrible. You feel worse. You feel like you shouldn't have started eating at all. And oftentimes your body actually rejects that heavy food. Why is that? Well, our bodies are looking for something light to be well received. It's looking for those nutrients so it can send it to the different parts of the body, like our brain, our heart, etc., that needs it to continue to function properly and efficiently. But when we flood our body with things that it doesn't really agree with, that's not good for it, it gets clogged up and jammed up, and it causes havoc in our body. It impacts our memory, it impacts our mood, it impacts us in many different ways negatively. We have literally been fed lies, lie after lie. What to eat, when to eat it, how to eat it. Why? Because they want us sitting in this seat. They want to manipulate us. Who are they? Those with special interests. Those are the ones that are making the money off of us being sick and trodden down. Like, have you ever paid attention and realized that food and what we eat, it's cultural? That's why we say, yeah, I want to eat Indian food, or I want to eat this kind of food, that kind of food. It's cultural. You learn how to eat and how to eat it and what's in our culture. What is in the American culture? They have literally twisted things so that we could eat a certain way to damage our own selves. Have you ever noticed or paid attention to them coming out with something one year and saying how it's good for us, and then the next year it's bad for us, and then the next year it's good for us again? They want us confused, so we don't care, we just eat. Milk is good for you. There's literally no other animal that drinks the milk of another animal. That just doesn't happen. Well, we do. I'm not saying that we're animals, because we're not, but we do. And we love it. We drink it in. Because they told us it was good for us and it tastes good. And for those that are not lactose intolerant, we drink it up. when that couldn't be the furthest from the truth. It's actually good for us in the natural way, but they're pushing us away from even doing that and trying to give us formula and push that down our throat because they want us to be good and strong, right? So they tell us this stuff is good for us. And they get a model or famous actress and they give them a milk mustache, tell us it's good for us. But after they got so many lawsuits, they couldn't tell us how good it was for us anymore, that it made us strong. So then they just started asking us questions. Got milk? Want strong kids? Can't tell you that it's gonna make your kids strong. It's just ask you, do you want strong kids? Make it suggestive. It can play on your mind, and then all they have to worry about or figure out is how to continue to mass produce. It's crazy because all of what they're saying, the nutrients and all of these things are in the milk. It's not really in the milk. It's in the food that the cows are eating. So how about we eat the right foods? No, but they don't want to teach us that. Just eat what tastes good. And this is really one of the worst animals that you can eat. That's on land. There's some bad ones in the sea too. Filled with toxins, this animal is literally a walking garbage disposal. It's nature's garbage disposal, naturally. That's what they're intended to do. It's not intended for human consumption. Just to tie it off, you know, if you went into a restaurant and you said, I want my steak rare, they said okay, and they would serve it up that way. Try asking them for a rare pork chop. I want my pork chop still oinking. They will send you packing. They won't do it. Why? Because it could literally kill you. But that won't stop me from eating my bacon. I'm still gonna eat it. I don't care what anybody say. Well, there's one person happy about that. Yeah, eat as much as you like. Go ahead. Just cook it right. You're fine. Yeah, up until you have all these serious problems and conditions going on with you and you can't function barely, and they come to you, oh yeah, see, it's this red meat. You gotta come back off of those, and it's really wreaking havoc. You gotta eat better. They only tell you that after the fact. And what about our cereals? Did you know that there was Roundup found in our cereal? Yeah, the cereal that we're giving to our children. And we're thinking we're giving them something good. So it's not just the milk, but the cereal has pesticides in it. Literally. The same thing that they're using to kill off insects and ward away animals or whatever. It's in our food. So it's killing us. So not only are we hurting our bodies for eating the wrong things when we jumpstart our body, not only are we eating the worst kind of animals filled with toxins, not only are we drinking things we probably shouldn't be eating, but the food literally has pesticides in it. It's because they want to see us here. They don't want to share with us how we really should be eating and what it's really doing to us, because they love the color green. And you know, they say you are what you eat. So what are we then? If you are what you eat, what are we? They started on us since we were little ones.
Let's find out. 1, 2, Maurice.
Suckers.
Pop.
You tired of being a sucker? Then stop believing in man and what they have given us and put in front of us. Don't accept that. Don't reject it. It's hurting you. It's hurting your body. Oh, but it tastes good. It's hurting you. It's killing you. And even if it doesn't kill you quickly, you won't be able to enjoy life. So if you're tired of being a sucker, do what they don't expect you to do. Make some different choices. Lightly sauteed vegetables. That's what we should be eating to jumpstart our bodies. Something that our body can actually absorb and easily break down to send the nutrients where they need to go. Please don't forget. Like, share, and subscribe the video. I need it. I need it. I need it. Please get this out because we're going to send more videos. We're going to go on to the next one. And we're going to break out some more stuff that I'm sure you have not heard. But we're going to break it here on the Untold Truth. This is my lovely wife. Isn't she beautiful? And not only is she beautiful, but she can cook. This is what she does for me every morning. Every morning I can wake up to some nice assorted fruits, and she makes this, I guess I'd call it some type of taco, but it's all healthy products. And because I love spicy, you know, she throws on the jalapenos. She has the sauteed vegetables, seasoned guacamole. Put that all together, season it real good. I can barely tell that there's no meat, and I did. I was a meat eater, heavy meat eater, and I'm not a vegan or vegetarian. We'll go into that more in the next video. But I make healthy choices, and there are alternatives out there that you can actually enjoy. I love this breakfast meal every morning. And for those that are asking, are you some type of nutritionist? Are you a scientist or something? No, I'm not. But I'll tell you what I am. I'm common sense certified. See you on the next video.